At the end of filming Tombstone in 1993, Val Kilmer gave Kurt Russell an unforgettable gift: an acre of land overlooking the legendary Boot Hill Cemetery in Tombstone, Arizona. More than 3 decades later, Russell still treasures it. Not because of its value, but because it reminds him of a friend he would never forget. When Val Kilmer passed away in 2025, Hollywood remembered one of its greatest actors. But Kurt Russell didn't offer the usual polished tribute. Instead, he spoke honestly about the brilliant, complicated man he had known for decades. Their friendship actually began years before Tombstone. They first crossed paths on the set of Silkwood in 1983, where Russell noticed a quiet young actor named Val Kilmer. Fresh out of Juilliard, Kilmer possessed an intensity that immediately stood out. Russell later recalled that he could tell Val took acting more seriously than almost anyone he'd ever met. By the early 1990s, Kilmer had become one of Hollywood's brightest stars thanks to Top Gun and The Doors. But it was Tombstone that cemented his legacy. Playing Doc Holliday, Kilmer delivered one of the most memorable performances in Western film history. His famous line, "I'm your Huckleberry," became iconic, while Russell anchored the film as Wyatt Earp. When production wrapped, the two actors exchanged unusual gifts. Russell jokingly bought Kilmer a burial plot in Boot Hill Cemetery because Doc Holliday had spent his life surrounded by death. Kilmer answered with something even more meaningful: an acre of land overlooking the cemetery for Russell, explaining that Wyatt Earp represented life looking over history. Russell has said that gift perfectly captured both characters and their friendship. Although Kilmer's career continued with major films like Batman Forever and Heat, he also gained a reputation for being difficult to work with. Friends who knew him best often described a different man: deeply committed to his craft, intensely thoughtful, and unwilling to compromise his artistic standards. In 2014, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer. Multiple surgeries and treatments permanently damaged his voice, yet he never stopped creating. His emotional return as Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick became one of the film's most unforgettable moments and served as a touching farewell to audiences worldwide. A few years before Kilmer's death, Kurt Russell visited his longtime friend. Speaking later about that meeting, Russell remembered that although Val struggled to speak, his sense of humor remained. During their conversation, Kilmer reflected on his life with remarkable honesty, admitting that perhaps he could have been a little bit nicer to a lot of people. They both laughed. When news of Val Kilmer's passing spread, Russell didn't focus on Hollywood headlines or awards. Instead, he remembered the talented actor, the loyal friend, and the man behind the legend. Today, that quiet acre overlooking Boot Hill remains one of Russell's most treasured possessions. It's more than a piece of land. It is a lasting reminder of a friendship built on mutual respect, unforgettable performances, and shared history. Sometimes, the greatest Hollywood stories aren't found on the screen. They're found in the friendships that endure long after the cameras stop rolling. If you love uncovering the hidden stories behind classic Hollywood legends, subscribe to Classic Hollywood Feuds.